Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favourite Christian Slater movies. But before I get into the main list, I just want to take this time to give a big massive thank you to everyone who has followed me over on Instagram. I've only been on Instagram a short time, possibly 7-8 months, and I never expected to get anywhere near the amount of followers um, that I've collated over that short period of time. Coming up close to nearly 1,100 followers now, which has kind of just blown me away a little bit. And I just want to also give a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channel as well. I'm not too far away from hopefully breaking 500, which I hope to do this year. But yeah, I just wanted to take this time to give a big thank you to everyone who's followed me on YouTube and Instagram. It's just meant a lot, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I just thought I'd take a time to give this to give a thank you out to everyone who's followed me. But yeah, getting into Christian Slater, just an absolutely fantastic, entertaining actor that I really enjoy watching whenever he pops up in a movie. But yeah, before I get into the main list, just want to sort of reel off some honourable mentions for me that didn't quite make the top 10. So the first one is Broken Arrow, to possibly some people's surprise. That's a really fun action movie by John Woo, also starring John Travolta, that is really over the top, but I really enjoy. A movie I'm not too fond of, but I know it has its fans, is Cuffs. That movie has way too many problems for me, but I know a lot of people do like it, and I thought it'd probably be best to mention it. Another one is the animated movie Ferngully, that I really enjoy. Have a lot of fun with that film. Young Guns 2, I think, is a fabulous sequel. Really enjoy it, very entertaining. Another one that nearly cracked the top 10 was Murder in the First, but I just don't really remember too much about Christian Slater's character in that film. Same goes for The Contender as well, another great movie that just didn't quite make it for me. Bobby as well, great ensemble cast, and it's a great political movie. Wind Talkers as well with Nicolas Cage. Name of the Rose, fantastic film with Sean Connery, but it was just a bit too biblical for me. Doesn't really have the rewatch factor for me, that film. My last honorable mention is possibly my favourite Star Trek movie of all time, and that is Undiscovered Country, Star Trek 6. Very small role. If you blink, you probably miss him. And the fact that he's sort of covered in shadow in that movie. But yeah, it's fun to see him in it. But yeah, that being said, I'm going to get into the top 10 now. And coming in at number 10 for me is Interview with the Vampire. This is a movie that I'm not the biggest fan of, if I'm honest. It's very much a Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt vehicle. But my favourite part about it is probably Christian Slater's character. He is the interviewer, interviewing Brad Pitt. And yeah, for me, he's probably my favourite part of the movie, to be honest. I think the movie does have pacing issues. And there's one part of the movie where I think a character comes into it. I'm sort of lost in the movie. It really lost my interest. But I do think it is a well-made film. It's just not one I particularly enjoy. And Christian Slater is by far my favourite part of the movie. So yeah, that is Interview with the Vampire, coming in at number 10. So coming in at number 9 for me is a 90s sort of forgotten romantic drama, and that is Bed of Roses. Again, I enjoy the chemistry that the two leads have. But yeah, this is a checklist movie of everything you'd want to see in a 90s romantic drama. And the movie isn't anything more than that. But the two leads do give a great performance, and yeah, it is what it is. It's nothing special. It just is sadly one of those forgotten 90s romantic movies that yeah, just doesn't get talked about that all that often. But I really enjoy it for what it is. It's got Christian Slater in it, so I do enjoy it. So yeah, that is at number 9, Bed of Roses. Coming in at number 10 for me is a movie that I have a lot of fun with this film. I really enjoy it, and that is Very Bad Things. So this sort of follows this group of guys who are sort of on this bachelor party, the stag do, and something goes horribly wrong on the said stag do or party or gathering, whatever it is. And yeah, it is just about them trying to fix the problem, shall we say, that's befell them. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Really, really dig it. Great cast. Obviously, you've got Christian Slater, Cameron Diaz, Jeremy Piven. A lot of fun cast members in this movie, and I have a blast with it. And that's all I can really say about it. It's just one that you've got to sort of see to believe, and I do really dig it. So yeah, that is Very Bad Things. So coming in at number 7 for me is probably the most recent Christian Slater movie on the list. And he plays a supporting role in it, but a very important one, in my opinion. So the movie I've chosen is The Wife, with Jonathan Pryce and Glenn Close. So it sort of follows this couple who the Jonathan Pryce's character is being hailed and being given this award for his work. And Christian Slater sort of plays this reporter who ends up sort of following Glenn Close's character and wanting to interview her, and he acts as sort of the key or the catalyst to uncovering the truth as to what happened earlier on in their relationship. And it sort of escalates from there. It's a really great movie, and Christian Slater has a small role in the film, but it's very, very important, and I just really enjoy the movie. I think it's fantastically acted. Wonderful story, and yeah, I think it's just a great movie. So yeah, that is The Wife. So coming in at number 6 for me is another great movie. I think this is early 90s, late 80s. And we've got Pump Up the Volume at number 6. So yeah, this is just a really, really fun, entertaining film. Great premise, really simple. It sort of follows this high school and this radio DJ who is really having an impact and is being really influential to this school. And sort of the parents and teachers aren't really too happy with him. And they sort of want to cancel him out, want to just sort of get rid of him. But no one has any idea who he is. And you've got Christian Slater, who at school is just sort of someone who is very by the numbers and doesn't really do anything to stand out. And he's really sort of taken that on in this radio program that he's doing. And everyone just sort of admires him and wants to listen to him. But like I said, no one really knows who he is. And yeah, it's a fun film. I really, really enjoy it. And that's why it's number 6 on my list. So if you've not seen it, check out Pump Up the Volume. I really, really enjoy it. So coming in at number 5 for me is sort of a forgotten 80s gem, in my opinion. And it is The Legend of Billie Jean. Again, another simple premise to a great movie. First and foremost, this is one of the best female-empowered movies I've seen. It's up there with Aliens and Terminator 2 for me. In terms of that aspect, this movie's great, and it just doesn't get the love anymore, which is a shame. But yeah, very simple premise. You've got Helen Slater as Billie Jean, who her brother, played by Christian Slater, is sort of bullied. This scooter that he has gets absolutely trashed by these bullies, and she just goes in there and wants to get the money back for the repairs. It goes horribly wrong, and Billie Jean and a gang of friends and her brother become outlaws, and that's the movie. It's got a fabulous soundtrack. Christian Slater is there, obviously, to as service to play the brother. He is in this, and he does have some really, really good, useful scenes in the movie. He's not just there to be, sort of blithering idiot. He really does have some purpose there, and it's a great movie, which just gets really, really forgotten, and I absolutely love it. So, that is The Legend of Billie Jean. So coming in at number 4 for me is actually the first movie I ever saw with Christian Slater, and for the longest time I never saw him in anything else. And this is a flawed movie, but it's one I absolutely love, and it is, of course, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So yeah, this is just a really, really fun telling of the Robin Hood character. Alan Rickman, of course, is in this movie, steals the show, makes the movie. But you got Christian Slater's character who has this cloud over him of mystery in the movie. You just don't know if he's good or bad, or what his real intentions are and what his agenda is, or what his relationship to Robin Hood actually is. And it's great the way that his character and his story is unraveled throughout the movie. And I have an absolute blast with it. It's flawed, yeah, absolutely, but it's probably my favourite live action version of the Robin Hood tale. To be honest, my favourite being the Disney one, but this is my favourite live action one, and I have a blast with it. Christian Slater's great in it. It's the first movie I ever saw him in. So yeah, that is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, coming in at number 4. So number 3 for me is, again, another movie from the 90s that gets forgotten about and doesn't really I don't really hear a lot of people mention this movie, and it stars one of my all-time crushes as well, Marissa Tomei, who is just absolutely stunning. And the same can be said for this movie that she's in with Christian Slater, and it is Untamed Heart. Yeah, this is a great movie, like I said, that doesn't really get the love it deserves. So you've got Marissa Tomei's character, who's sort of she's dated a couple of guys, but nothing has ever really worked out for her, and she's looking for love. And she's working at this cafe and this diner, and Christian Slater plays this guy who's sort of like a cleaner there, sort of like a handyman, goes around doing like the odd cleaning jobs. And one night she ends up being followed home by a couple of guys who attack her and go to rape her, and Christian Slater's character turns up and is there to save the day, and they end up falling in love and going on. But Christian Slater has sort of, without going into too much detail, he has a bit of a backstory and a bit of a past that leads to a real sad ending, shall we say. And it's definitely one that you need the tissues for, to have a bit of a weep, because it just is it's heartbreaking ending. And I just really enjoy it. Really enjoy the film. I think it's great. And yeah, it's just a wonderful film that doesn't really get talked about, and I really enjoy this film. I think it's a great cheerjerker. It's got a great line in it as well from Marissa Tomei when she's dating Christian Slater's character, and she says, "I don't make sense, he doesn't make sense, we both don't make sense together." And that's just really great and really wonderful, and I love that line of dialogue in the film. And that's all I can really say about it. It's a great movie, great Christian Slater movie, but the ending really gets you in the feels. And yeah, that is Untamed Heart, coming in at number 3. So coming in at number 2 for me is a movie I didn't really like the first time I saw it. It has grown on me. It's my number 2 on this list, absolutely. And it is, of course, the cult classic Heathers. I absolutely adore this film. Like I said, didn't love it at first, but I think what drew me to it was I had a massive crush on Winona Ryder growing up. And yeah, I just thought she was an absolutely stunning woman. And I went back and revisited this movie, and it's great. It's hilarious. It's got so much dark humor to it, and it works. It really does. The chemistry between the two leads, again, Slater and Ryder, it's just absolutely wonderful. He's very much the bad influence in this movie, and he sort of leads it down the wrong path, trying to break down, the social barriers of school and all of that stuff. And it's just a fun film. It just goes the places you want it to go to, and it has fun with it, and it's just really adventurous when it goes down those avenues. But I love it. It's great. I know it's not for everyone, but for me, it's just an absolute fun time. So yeah, that is my number 2 pick, Heathers. So coming in at number 1 for me is one of the best movies I've ever gone into blind. I absolutely adore this film, and Christian Slater is very much the lead of the movie, and he has possibly one of the best supporting casts you could ever ask for in a film. I'm not going to reel off all the names. If you've seen the movie, you know who's in this movie, and the cast is just insane. But for me, my number 1 Christian Slater movie is, it couldn't have been anything else, True Romance. Yeah, this is just one of the best surprises I have ever sat down to watch. Written by Quentin Tarantino, the dialogue is just superb in this film. And again, the chemistry between the two leads, Christian Slater's Clarence and Patricia Arquette's Alabama, just absolutely wonderful, wonderful chemistry between these two leads. They're just two people who've met and have just fall in love pretty much instantly, and you really root for them. You know, given the situation that they're in, they end up acquiring this mini suitcase of cocaine, and they just want to sell it to this movie producer. That's all they really want to do, but everyone's hot on their heels. And it's just a fun movie with some of the best action you've seen in a third act of a film. Just absolutely wonderful. Really, really enjoy this film. Just think it's absolutely brilliant. And Christian Slater steals the show. That lift scene in particular, just absolutely great. So unhinged. Absolutely wonderful film. Really, really enjoy it. So entertaining. The entertainment factor with this film is 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely superb film. And it's my number 1 favourite Christian Slater movie. So yeah, that is it, guys. Yeah, those are my top 10 favourite Christian Slater movies, guys. So go leave the video there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.